right? That's, your immune system can be like that if you can actually manufacture the material. Okay, let's jump into this, because one of the great manufacturers of the immune system materials are the mushrooms. Man, I've been doing these events so long. People are like, he's into magic mushrooms now. He's into like some, drugs and stuff. Because most of us never heard of the medicinal mushrooms. How many people have heard of medicinal mushrooms? How many people never heard of it? Okay, these are the most powerful herbs, in my opinion. The most powerful are medicinal mushrooms. That's just my opinion. Now you try it yourself. I'm a mushroom hunter now. I went from all the way knowing nothing about it within 5 years. Now I'm in the forest. We just put Chocolate Face 15 feet up a tree and she's hacking a shaga mushroom down. We're so into the mushroom. I was like, Chocolate Face, hang off the mushroom itself. Just see if you can pull it down. She's like, I could fall. Get the mushroom. What's going on? The tree mushrooms are the medicinal mushrooms. Very interesting distinction. The mushrooms that grow in trees, those are the medicinal mushrooms. And what do? They specifically help your immune system manufacture the weapons. And how do you empower them to do that? You put superfoods in with them. You follow me here? How many do you need? If you knew one superfood, let's just say it's whatever it is, goji berry, and you knew one super herb, cordyceps, you got something powerful there. Just that. That's why we're just taking all that complex herbalism and we're blowing it to the most simple thing possible. Everybody with me on this? Because I don't expect you to understand herbalism like I do, but I know everybody can do this. Or this. Who can do this? Who can hit the buttons on the blender? I know everybody can do that. That's where we can all agree on, right? I don't know what to do. He said throw a little that in there and throw that in there. Water, something. That's how you start. Now, probably the first time around, unless you get a little instruction, it's going to taste awful. Right? And then if you figure it out, you're like, oh, wait a second, if we add a little bit of this and we round it, like get some of the flavor rounded out, next thing you know, it's like, I don't want any of the other stuff anymore. Ever. I have done this so hardcore, I'm a hardcore kind of person, that I lived on superfood chocolate smoothies one time for 3 months straight, nothing else. No food even, just drinks. It was incredible, one of the best experiences of my whole life. It was just beyond incredible. What's going on with cordyceps? This stuff was so powerful in Chinese medicine that it was under penalty of death to actually possess it. Only the emperor could possess it. We lose track sometimes, don't we? Like, we have everything. We have every superfood. We have every super herb. I mean, under penalty of death. Now it's available to everybody if you know about it. That's why you're here. It's like, let's know about it. And what do? You just ADD it. You just add it in. When you go down this whole thing here, that's all true. Here's another thing that's not in here. And that is, in Chinese medicine, they say if you take enough cordyceps, it actually gets into your adrenal kidney meridian, and it starts putting something into the bank account for your genetics for the next generation, and the next generation, and the next generation. After 40 years of taking cordyceps, it starts producing, you start developing into a being that can produce 2-3 generations down healthy offspring. That's what they say in Chinese medicine. And now I understand that. It's called the Jing energy, J-I-N-G. People have lower back pain, knee problems, they're bankrupt on Jing. Impotence, infertility, Jing energy, bankrupted. Right? This is really a key idea. What do? Cordyceps, #1 thing for that traditionally in Chinese medicine. Okay, now we're getting down. I've got 5 minutes left here with you guys, so I don't want to keep you here all night. And we're going to have a party here tonight. Woo. And we want to get all your questions. Are you ready for questions and answers? Who's ready? Yes. Okay, now I want to just jump back here because I told you I was going to talk about gold. That's how I met Chad, and that's why I even got here, is because Chad came to New York about 5 or 6 years ago, and I met him through Amy Rochelle. Can you put that up here? Colloidal gold. Here's what I used to do. I used to have this apartment in Soho, and it was so far from any health food store, and I'd get like 12 of the gold from Chad, and I'd have them at my apartment, and then there's no way I can drink the tap water. Even I had a whole system put on my water there that would like filter the heck out of everything and bring it down to total solid materials down to less than 1/2 part per million. I drink it, I get sick. I couldn't drink even though it was filtered to death. I still couldn't drink the water. So then I'd be in my apartment, I'd be typing away, then I'd get up and try to distract myself. And then I'd get thirsty. So that's how I really got into Gold Rush. That is actually because I got a bunch of it from Chad and I keep shipping it to my house. Next thing you know, I'm like, okay, let me just start drinking this stuff. And so I started drinking it instead of spring water. And it's interesting because I noticed from Dr. Gabriel Cousens' research on our stress defense shield, which is serotonin, I noticed that something was going on with that. Like it just builds up a barrier to the stress. Now that's really important to learn. How many people know about serotonin and have heard about it before? The more serotonin, by the way, every single living thing on the earth, even bacteria, produces serotonin. How many people knew that?
Say that again?
Every living thing on the earth produces serotonin, even bacteria. So as you know, we think serotonin is just in us. It is not just in us. For example, cacao beans contain serotonin. They help build up that stress defense shield. Actually, almost everything contains serotonin, but some things have a lot more than others. Now, gold, from the Steiner perspective, any Rudolf Steiner fans in here? From the Steiner perspective, gold is on the octave of the sun, which is also the octave of Jesus, which is also the octave of the heart, which is the same octave that cacao is on. Does that make sense to everybody? See, the way Steiner understood the world is not like everything is like these different categories or different things. He understood everything as a frequency. And so certain things are in that frequency and certain things are in another frequency. Like colloidal silver is on the same frequency as the moon. You got that? Okay, so that's super fascinating. So and also that's on the same frequency as spring water, the moon. Colloidal silver, spring water, as it comes out ice cold, those are all the same frequency. And I could do a whole seminar on that. I do occasionally, just on the different octaves of things. Because some people don't understand things in the linear way that we've been taught. They need to understand it from that way, the more in the octaves. Like, when you hit C, it vibrates all the C's on the piano. You hit D, it vibrates all the D's on the piano. This is exactly what I'm talking about here. Middle C is the sun. Cacao would be this one over here. Gold's right here, right? And you just keep going down, you'll find all the octaves. Jesus, and all that. Purple.